Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, a really cool knife from a company called Pyrotech, who I've never heard of before they sent this knife to me. It's really cool. The Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway for October 2025. That's tonight. We're giving away the LT Wright Frontier Valley. And then how do you choose your ESK? I want to find out what your parameters are. For me, it used to be fidgety. Now I go with large, the kind of knife I'd like to have on me in a melee. If things go Braveheart, that's how I've been choosing lately. But I want to ask you what your parameters are for an ESK in your daily choice. Marco, nice to have you here, sir. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies, he says. Hope you're doing well, sir. OG Blade Reviews, nice to have you here, Dave. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Blade Bayonne Junkies et al. My ESK is either too large or richly appointed to be EDC'd or bandied about. Yeah, me too. For me, it's a backpack lately. Blade Barongs. Gotcha. Dang spell check. Blade Barons. See? It's not spell check. I can't read either. I see Barons and I think Barongs. Blade Barons. I like that. We are Barons of the Blades, brothers and sisters. James Hart. Nice to have you here, James. Now that is a question I've not thought about. Well, James, I know you've got some pretty interesting choices there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say. Jennifer Reed, very nice to have you here. Jennifer is a new YouTube member. So if if it's doable, we'll get you on that wheel tonight. By the way, I'm a huge sucker for images. I have a painting, if I haven't mentioned it before, of setting sun or evening sky coming through silhouetted trees. So I love your avatar. Beautiful. Greg Vanderlip, winner of the last All Access giveaway. Knife Junkies Unite. Good to have you here, Greg. Pleasure. Hope you're digging the knife. I also we had a couple of people last week buy a couple of the Civivis I had on offer. I'll show you some of those later. They're going for a drop. What's the word that we use? Cut rate prices. Greg Vanderlip says, smash on some of that like button action. Indeed, please do smash it. I understand that's what the kids say these days. Ground Fog, good to have you here, Ground Fog. But smashes for something else. I smashed first, said James Hart. Thank you, James. I appreciate that, sir. Carino1, nice to have you here, Carino. He says, good evening, Jim, Bob, and fellow junkies. One criteria for my ESK is that it can't be something I'm comfortable carrying to church. Good call. Good call. If I belch, sorry, I had to have some bubbly tonight. James Hart says, as a bicycle rider and walker, I choose an ESK knife that I know will keep me safe. To that end, it's either my Cold Steel Raja 2, a great choice, XL, or my Espada G10 XL. Both great choices because they unfold into very large knives, but they're packable. You can put them in most shorts oh, well, this is right here. On a dark and stormy night when I'm in my office, I keep my Wakizashi handy. I think that is a good choice. I didn't bring it up here, but I've been carrying my 12-inch Tonto lately in my backpack. It's just makes me feel good. And that's what an ESK is all about. Sword XXXY, good to have you here, sir. Good day, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Good day, Sword. I hope a beautiful day is dawning down there, down under. My criteria for an ESK depends on the situation and the ability to conceal the ESK. Yep. Kukris are cool. Yep. Agreed. Kukris are cool. I got my Cold Steel Chaos Kukri out here. May as well, since it's apropos to the conversation. Sword says, I have a few Kukris, great for yard work and in the bush. No doubt. I know that they are, but this one, actually, I got to say, even though the Chaos Kukri is very, gur, this would actually come in handy in the brush or in the bush too, because when you're chopping down saplings and stuff, you're not going to smash up your knuckles at all. Great for flipping burgers on the barbecue. I bet. I hadn't thought of that, but Yeah, it gives you standoff reach, so you're not getting too hot. Yeah, I love this thing. Boom. James Hart says, if you have a small enough one, I've hunted deer and antelope. And for gutting, I like a drop point 3-inch blade. All right. What do you think of the Cold Steel drop point hunter? That thing has always looked cool to me. And the Pendleton hunter looks cool to me, but I'm just not a hunter and haven't gotten around to getting those knives yet. I'd like to be a hunter, but I'm not. Maybe in retirement, but isn't that a weird time? It's like, yeah, maybe I'll get a Harley when I retire. Yeah, I want to be one of those guys who's 67 years old on his first Harley. No, I don't think so. But I want someone to take me out hunting one of these days, one of these years, one of these seasons. Have a nice day. Nice to have you here, sir. He says, it's all about birthday weekend in the mountains of Mammoth. Oh, nice. On my hip is a stag-handled 119. It's a very sweet knife, by the way. That was just a recent collection selection video that I did. I'm grooving on the stag handles, and in my pocket, a Tonto Strider with VEF serrations. I just did a video about my, let me just reach over and grab it, my SMF tonight collection selection video. I love Striders. This is the only one I have besides the North Mountain Strider-esque Dwayne Dwyer knife, but I love that thing. Scott says, it's good to have you here and happy birthday, sir. Scott says, for me, the ESK Remit. Sorry, Scott, nice to have you here, first of all. For me, the ESK Remit is, it has to be on the verge of insanity. Yes, sir. And maybe when I show you my ESK today, you won't say insanity, but you'll say, ooh, that's cool and impressive and rather, large-ish. So yeah, definitely a backpack knife. Split and Slices says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Well, I say howdy to you, Byron. And Thursday night knives, he says. And I agree. I love Thursdays. I love Thursday nights. Today was a positively beautiful autumn day here. It was just a gorgeous day. I had a good day. Adrian Fighter 35, nice to have you here, sir. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Hope everyone had a great day. I'm just talking about that. My ESK is usually a self-defense oriented blade, like a tie light, or my ESK for today, the Cold Steel serrated Spartan. Very nice. I've been thinking about getting that one recently. I have the original Spartan in AUS 8 with the blasted blade. I had to sand it down. It would rust a lot because of that blasting and because of the humidity of where I live. But I've been thinking about that recently, that serrated blade. It's full flat ground. It looks nice. Craig Vincent, good to have you here, Craig. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies, he says. Good evening to you, Craig. Hope the world's treating you well. Same to you, Matt Lamana, who is, we've already had Gentleman Junkies in here. I'm not going to call every Gentleman Junkie out, but I just so happen to know Matt Lamana is a Gentleman Junkie, so he stands to win something cool tonight. I'll show that off in a second. Happy Thursday Night Knives, Bob, Jimmy Notes, and fellow junkies. ESK for me is the largest blade I can effectively carry concealed in relative comfort. The largest to date is my Work Tough Gear Atayal. Wow, that's a biggie. 15 inches overall, including the Kydex. And we all know that Work Tough Gear, awesome knives, but they're Kydex, size of Texas. It's always very, very big. So it's considerable to what do you want to call it? Conceal. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door. He is also a member. He's a member here on YouTube. He says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and all the awesome junkies. My ESK is normally something self-defense. One of my OTFs usually does the trick. Well, the OTF covers two bases. First of all, self-defense and tactical, but also fidgety as all get out. And that's how this whole thing started for me. It's like, this is the emotional support. Now the emotional support comes in the knowing that I could duel. I have to duel. Sean Clark, nice to see you here. Speaking of duel, I see your Rainmaker. God, that's a gorgeous blade. He is also a member. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and the Junkies. Good evening to you, sir. I put this out on the table tonight just because I've been thinking about it and kind of lashing out with it just at the air. And man, I love this thing. But this is served as an ESK also. This is the Partisan by Station 9. That's been an ESK in the past, many a time actually. You can always say, "Officer, I'm on the way to my chef's job," because it kind of looks like a chef's knife. That's kind of what it's emulating, the repurposed French chef's knife for the trenches of World War I. Terminator Joe, nice to have you here, Terminator. Good evening, fellow brothers and sisters of the blade. Yes, yes, sir. Good to have you here, man. Jammin Parker, nice to have you, Jammin. Also a gentleman junkie. Hang on, I think that sparkling water feels good going down, but it makes me thirsty, oddly enough. Jammin Parker says, evening, everyone. My ESK knives are anything big, 8 to 12 inches with a Marshall design. Yes, yes, I'm with you. And 8 to 12 usually, at least in my thinking, is Marshall, unless it's kitchen-y, and in which case that's usually the most Marshall-y used blades out there, kitchen knives. Fed Harrison, nice to have you here, Fed. He says, hey, Bob and Jim, it's been a while. Well, it's nice to have you here, Fed. Chakabra, right back at you. And I'm glad you're here. You know, you can always return to Thursday Night Knives. Craig Vincent says, I don't have a particular process for choosing, but I know 100% it will be a cold steel. All right, let me tell you. Yeah, I'm with you on that. This is what you guys stand to win, you guys and gals who are members on YouTube and Gentleman Junkies all around. Whether you're a Gentleman Junkie from YouTube or Patreon, this is what we got. And it's a beauty, sent to me from Scott. Hang on, Scott, one sec. Sent to me by the great and powerful LT, right? What a cool guy he is. But this is the Frontier Valley. This is his top seller right now. It's a great EDC size, as well as just an awesome do everything or almost everything little camp knife. I say almost everything because there are some camp chores you're going to want your bigger knives for. Such a beauty, and a beautiful leather sheath. Comes in a box, obviously, with some goodies in it, and you will also get some swag. This little mark on the sheath, this came like this. So it's not like I've been carrying this around, but I have been carrying another one around, my LT Wright knife, and I'll show you that in a while. That's a little foreshadowing. Let me show you this, guys. This is really cool. This is an old Seiko that my dad gave me. He bought this when he was in the Air Force or I think he was in the Air Force. Anyway, he got this in the early 70s, gave this to me in the early 80s. This has been away in a box for 40 years. I pulled it out today. I found it. I've been looking for it. Pulled it out today. Gave it a good shake because it's an automatic. And it is nuts on with the time all day long. I mean, you know, all day. We'll see how it does in a couple of days. But it is so cool to have this integrated sports bracelet style 70s. It looks so 70s, doesn't it? Seiko. I've been loving it. And ordinarily, I don't like gold tone anything, but this, you know, I mean, this, it just has there's a big place in my heart for this watch, and I found it today. I'm so excited. Found a trove of other old watches from my teenage years, and it was cool. There are a couple I'm gonna fix and get going. Scott says, I think an ESK should make a tiger think twice about how things are gonna pan out. Yes, I think you're right about that, and I think tigers are pretty confident. So you really have to step up. Oh, Ben, nice to have Benedict Odie with us. He sent me a really cool picture of 2 new folders that he got. Very cool. Ben says, good evening all, Bob and Jim. My ESK usually has some heft, titanium if folder, and lately larger fixed with the fall weather clothes. Yes, exactly. And so I'm assuming that you carry your ESK. Oftentimes my ESK is just on the side. Jock's Knife, nice to have you here, Jock. He says, good evening, junkies. And I say to you, sir, good evening to you. Man, it's so nice to be back following Jock on Instagram. Such cool pictures. Really, I mean, you're a good photographer. We got a couple of really good photographers listening, you and Dave. And I know there must be others, but nicely done, Jock. Richard Briscoe, nice to have you here, Richard. He says, I like the Mayhem. It's a bit large for a true EDC, but it makes me chuckle when I do. You know, it is big and it's heavy. especially for, I mean, it's heavy even when you're considering the large cold steels, but the flatness of it and the somewhat thinness of it, the relative thinness of it, makes it somewhat easy to carry. Oof, I thought for a second there I guillotined my finger. Luckily, I did not. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Mayhem. I'm a converted Mayhem lover. I used to think, that's a little, that's not for me. It's a little too comic booky. And I'm like, who are you trying to convince, Bob? I mean, like, that's your whole collection, comic booky. Lone Star Dowboy says, my ESK, well, Lone Star, pleasure having you as usual. He says, my ESK is rotated every day, so all my models get used equally. Very nice. Karambits are included about every 8 to 10 days. That's cool. I think from the comments over the past several months, I think you've got a pretty cool collection. We're gonna have to say. Speaking of which, Northern Knives, good to have you here, sir. Mike, I almost called you Dave. Nice to have you here, Mike. Good evening from the frigid north to Jim, Bob, and all the junkies. Happy Thursday night, Knives. Well, I'll have you know, you've been talking about Virginia. Virginia was ice cold today. It got into the 40s, I think, the high 40s. Boy, it's hey, it's flannel weather. That's all I care about. Flannel and sweater weather. It's my favorite time of year. Terminator Joe says, my ESK is, of course, a long blade for reach and to scare the other. If they choose to engage, they must not value their lives. So that's why the Espada XL Mayhem so that's why the Espada XL and Mayhem for pocket knives. Yes, I'm with you, sir. He's pretty sure Terminator Joe is the guy who really pushed me over the edge to get that Mayhem. Though many of you had commented, ooh, that was loud, sorry. Many of you have commented that it's something I should get. Scott said, we can see Bob is getting ready for winter with the beard coming on. Yep. I guess the new folding razor isn't going to see any use. Where is it? Yes. He's paying attention. This is the razor Jim just gave me. And yeah, this won't get any use until April. I'm an October to April beard wearer. I'm a tourist in the beard game, but I have been. I'm a regular tourist. It's been over 10 years. I know my youngest daughter has never seen me in the winter without a beard. So Wilby says, my ESK tends to be my TKL sapper more often than not. Greetings, Bob, Jim, and junkies. Wilby, greetings to you, sir. Mention the sapper, and the sapper shall show. Except this one, since it does not have the line going all the way down the blade and aligned with those screws, which is for digging around in the sand and probing landmines. This is an Outrider. That's how this is being rebranded, an Outrider. They will also make runs of the sapper, or you can get it with the line special ordered, but since that's a very highly specialized knife, he's gone by calling this the Outrider. It's still a collaboration with Imre Morgenstern. You can see his logo there, but yeah, what an awesome knife this is. I love this thing. I think this would be a really great camp knife too, if I could just get myself to get out there and camp. Yes, knifejunkie.com/TKL. You save 10% off your purchase. Tim gets a sale, and I get a little kickback. You know what I mean? And that's coupon code KnifeJunkie, all lowercase. Kickback is usually not a nice term. It's something that we think of as corrupt, but in this case, it's not. Dion Page says, stab, chop, slash, stick, hack, and slice that button, junkies. And by button, he means that thumbs up button. Hello, King Junkie, Jim, and all you junkies. Dion, always a pleasure, man. And thank you so much for hyping that button. I appreciate it, man, as always. Karen Slavin, nice to have you here, Karen. Good evening, fellow junkies. I like big bowies, and I cannot lie. Hey, why lie about that? That is something you should proudly wear on your... I have a lot of big bowies out tonight. As a matter of fact, almost everything is a bowie or a clip point on the table today. But I'll show you this one right here because this is a beauty. Turd Burglar, nice to have you here. Hashtag knife is for every other week. But tonight, This is just for Gentleman Junkies, whether you're Patreon members or YouTube members, like Gary Balmain. Nice to have you here, Gary. This will be going out to Gentleman Junkies tonight. So Turd Burglar, every other week we give away a knife due to the generosity of people like Dave of This Old Sword. Or man, Old Habits Die Hard, OG Blade Reviews. You're still This Old Sword in my heart, sir. And also Mike of Northern Knives. But on this night, it's through the generosity of LT Wright. It's going to a Gentleman Junkie. Gary Balmain says, my ESK is determined by the pants I'm wearing. And I say the same to you. You don't have to hashtag knife, Gary, because you are a Gentleman Junkie. Look at that, man. I love this thing. This is the Bark River Knives. What do they call this? Is this the V44? I think this is the V44 because it is one of those Marine Raider Bowie style knives. I love the guard, the way this quillion is a little bit longer, the way it's sort of a stylized S-curve. And I love the Moran style horse hoof pommel on it. Really cool. Jeff W., nice to have you here, Jeff. He says, my ESK is the... I need something. I need everything by Turner CNC, but I just need something from Turner CNC, preferably a gin or a folding gin. I have to just do this. I have to figure out how to get it and get it. I miss drops and, oh, man, they are so sweet. I love his stuff. His Tomahawk is cool. His Jackalope is cool. His Jackalope XL is even more cool. And the sleeve machete. I love all of his stuff. Anyway, Jeff, my ESK is the Turner CNC Jackalope XL. Got it at Blade West last weekend. A great knife. Wish I had gotten it sooner. Oh, man. I wish I had gotten it at all. Yeah, Turner CNC. I saw a couple of interviews with Ed Calderon interviewing Mr. Turner. I can't remember his first name, but man, just made me wistful for something I don't have. Terminator Joe says, a Bowie is another great ESK, like my D-Bad Big Jim. His knives are cool. But something small like my Condor Undertaker, small, and the Cold Steel Natchez Bowie. Yeah, I mean, I love that you call the Undertaker, which I don't have and would like to get, and the Natchez small. My ESK, says Jock, is usually something with a good sound. Particularly enjoy the simple SOCOM Elite manual for that. Yes, yes. So the SOCOM Elite manual from 2013, Tonto, is my road trip knife. You know, I always talk about that. And that thing has such a great sound. Everything about that knife is just awesome. I love that one. And then I have an automatic that I got from Dave a few years back. We traded, and that also has a sweet sound, especially for an automatic. Present Compassion, new sub here. Hey, nice to have you here, Present. It's a pleasure to have you. And I like that. That's a cool, you're sitting there in the city at your desk drawing or writing, and I love that. Very cool. Nice to have you here, Present Compassion. Paul Mills, nice to have you here, Paul. He says, hello, Bob DeMarco. I say to you, hello, good sir. Robert Strebin, good night. Good to have you here, Robert. Good Thursday night, evening. Bob, Jim, and all the junkies out there. It is, Robert. It is, and I'm not just saying this because you're a fellow Robert, but it is. It's a Thursday is the best. Thursday, like Friday, but Thursday's even better. As a young adult, after I was out of school, I started to love Thursdays because of the potential. It's like, it's not even Friday. Like the whole weekend is ahead of us. And kind of Thursday night, you can kind of like treat it like the weekend, even though tomorrow you still have to get up. Thursday has all the potential and promise of the weekend without any of the possible disappointment or the responsibility of the weekend. It's just all perception. I love it. Anyway, Low Country Hillbilly, nice to have you here, Low Country. I carry a TJ Schwartz Confidant daily in waist. He makes excellent, thin, ergonomically perfect blades. I love his designs. I love TJ Schwartz's designs. And then he was on the show here a few years back, and right then he received his CNC, and and I've been kind of following him from afar, watching how his handmade stuff, or his stuff made by himself at home with his CNC, has really blossomed, and his stuff is so cool. I love the Overlander. Is that what's called? Overlander? I love his designs though, and he's a cool guy. 1931 Leatherworks. Nice to have you here, sir. Hello, everyone. He says hello to you, man. 1931 Leatherworks makes great sheaths, and I know because we gave away a Bowie here that he sheathed, made by the great and powerful Shane of Edgy American Blade Works. Richard Briscoe, nice to have you here, Richard. Here in Texas, we got the law changed. You can carry a Bowie or a katana, whatever you choose. And you know what the funny thing is that's what everyone assumed about Texas, that they have like the most liberal knife laws out there. I don't mean, I mean, you know what I mean? Not liberal like left leaning, but liberal like allowing the most. But apparently, until recently, that wasn't the case. And I heard about that. I think Doug Ritter mentioned that when he was on recently. How cool. And being from Texas, I really hope that you start carrying a Bowie regularly, like on your belt, and let everyone know. You could start it as like a fashion thing, like go out all dapper and then have a Bowie on you. Like, how cool would that be? I think we should all bring that back. We might become a politer society. Cesario Aton, or Aton. I'm going to say Aton, but I'll call you Cesario. How you doing, sir? Current ESK Benchmade Dacian. What is that? Oh, is that the one, the recent one that kind of looks like a Siebert design? It's a folder. It's in their like aquatic series with a sort of muted teal handle. I think that's what that is, and I think it's beautiful. Not because of the subpar sheath. Okay, I'm totally wrong. I should just keep reading, and I wouldn't. Okay, not because of the subpar sheaths they produce, but because of the ostrich skin over Kydex I made. Toot toot. Happy Thursday, good folks. All right. A couple of things here, Cesario. I want that sheath. I don't even have the knife to go in it, but I want it. That sounds amazing. Do you take commissions? Is a question. I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants to know. Ah, there it is. That's right. Okay. That is a cool one. And that does look like a Siebert design, but that's not the one I was thinking of. And I love that the pommel has jimping. How cool is that? I mean, it's got all the jimping down the blade. So you're thinking, oh, well, this is utility oriented and perhaps a hunting thing. But you put the jimping on the pommel and you know that you're thinking about the possibility of using it in pickle, or, in ice pick grip. I like that. That's a beautiful, beautiful knife. And the ostrich over Kydex sounds awesome. James Hart says, I guess my biggest ESK knife is my newest knife, the Cold Steel Arkansas toothpick. That's right. Which looks like a European dagger. Yes. The sheath also is evocative of a European dagger. But I remember doing research about the Arkansas toothpick not that long ago, like within the last 2 years or so, and they really are just heavily derived from European daggers. I mean, there's like a direct line. I think it's cool that Arkansas toothpicks and Bowies were kind of coming up at the same time. Gary Balmain says, good evening to fellow knife junkies. My pocket check represents the Texas Knife Makers Guild. How cool. In one pocket is a Nix Knives Damascus, and the other is a Chad Jones Nitro V. Gary, you got some deep cuts there, man. I would love to see both of those knives. I know of Nix knives, but I can't see them in my mind's eye. And then the Jones knife, I'm totally ignorant of, but they both sound awesome, especially because they're Texas-made knives. Dion Page says, #knife is freaking killer. Come to Dion, gorgeous little blade. But Dion, wait, yeah. You don't have to put #knife. You're in the Gentleman Junkie list, so you're cool, or you're fine with that. And there is no #knife tonight. That's only on every other night of the month, just not on the third Thursdays, because well, Dion, we'll see. You have a 1 in 43 chance. 1 in 42 chance of winning. Or no, I think 43 now. Angry Tom's hat next door. Oh, Angry Tom. I think I left you off the list accidentally. Jim's going to kill me, but Angry Tom, unless you're Joe, Ken Reed, or Sean Clark, for some reason you didn't show up on the YouTube membership page. But I know you're a YouTube member, and I see the little symbol here. We're going to have to work this out. Anyway, Angry Tom says, holy smokes. But we got a long time until we pull the trigger. So holy smokes, Bob, that is awesome. That is an awesome watch. Hold on to that one with all you got. Oh, I will, sir. I will. This thing is pretty awesome. And, you know, there's just boatloads of sentimental value in it. But it just so happens that I've been into 70s looking kind of sports watches recently. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Angry Tom, worry not, you're added. And so to find this old one that's a genuine 70s watch that my dad got on some stint in Japan is really cool. Terminator Joe said, and I can't believe how accurate it is. It is 100% accurate. I mean, I only said it like 12 hours ago, but still. Terminator Joe says, a machete can be a great ESK, cheap, long, multitasking knife. No doubt about that. The Kershaw Camp 14 has found a home in my travel backpack. I always liked those camps, the Kershaw Camp series with their recurves. I always thought they were really pretty knives. I mean, kind of sort of like that a little bit. They don't have the straight spine, but they look like I like the Camp 14. I like the Camp knives. Bobby Rains, how you doing, sir? Hope you're doing well. Evening, everyone. And ESK should definitely be able to take a handoff. Indeed. And I'm hoping soon to be ESKing one of Bobby's Rainmaker Bowies. So sweet. Cat Scratch, nice to have you here, Cat Scratch. Hello, everybody. Well, hello to you and that cute little kitty. I got mine she can open up doors, so if she wants to come in, she'll come in. I can't stop her. Northern Knives says, my ESK is almost always an OTF of some sort. My favorite is a Combat Troodon. I love that. I love the Combat Troodon. Something satisfyingly sinister about a 4-inch double-edged blade with serrations all down one side. It's intimidating to the normies. All right, so I have a regular Troodon, the 3-inch Troodon, half serrated, double edge. And the funny thing is when I bought it off of Blade Forums years ago, and I've told this story before, but I thought I was getting a Combat Troodon. I was all excited because I was like, I rushed to buy it because I was like, oh my God, this price, I can't believe it. And I bought it, and when it showed up, I'm like, it was like so much smaller than what I was expecting. I was like, and then I realized the mistake I made. Looked back at the posting and everything, and I was like, oh, that's my fault. But I still love the little version. That's still intimidating to a normie. Sean Clark says, my ESK is my Rainmaker and my Model 1.8 Randall. Yeah, sitting right next to you're sitting right next to it in that picture. Right here. Right there. Yes. Rainmaker would definitely be one of mine. I've definitely used a Randall as mine as well. I got one right here. Let me show you. Will B says, I like knowing that mine is one of the OG sappers. Yeah, well, it'd be cool to have an OG sapper. I was actually kind of, I don't want to say bummed. Certainly was not bummed, but I was surprised to see that mine didn't have the line. Then again, it was just given to me by Tim, so it's not like I ordered it and expected to get the line and didn't get the line. But yeah. I like the OG sappers too. But I also like the Outriders. Great all around knife. The Maroni, nice to have you here. Hey, y'all. Well, hey to you, man. Hope you're doing well. You and your beautiful family. This is Craig Vincent says, Bob, I dragged my feet with getting a Hatamoto more than I did with any other cold steel. But after having it for a week, I am loving the hell out of it. The Hatamoto is cool. I got to say, and this is just a personal thing, drop point Tontos or whatever you want to call it, or clip point Tontos, or that style has grown on me. I used to not like the Hatamoto at all, but I think I would like it now. So I'd like to get something out of that series. Anyway, just before I put this away, this is the model 16-7 SP1. I talked about it last week. The number 16 knife, so that's the handle, but with the number 1 model blade on it. I love that thing. Terminator Joe says, I remember I was talking to my Uber driver about my love of knives. I showed him one of my Espadas, and you don't need to deploy it. It's scary closed. Yeah, no kidding. It's like, whoa, that's a honker. I mean, I got the small one right here, or the large one, the non XL, and still that's a pretty intimidating knife. Beautiful too. I love the look of these knives. But yeah, the XL, geez. Alex Kerber, nice to have you here. Alex, always a pleasure, sir. Brown Sugar, nice to have you with us. Brown Sugar 0069. Hello, Knife Junkie. Hello to you, Brown Sugar. Hope the world is treating you well. We got Doug. Pardon me, people. Doug says, hi, y'all. Doug, how you doing, man? My ESK is totally the switch. Partially serrated, aluminum scales, kind of like yours, Bob. Awesome. That's exactly like mine, actually. Mine is the partial serrated stitch with the aluminum scales. I got at the same time, or around the same time, I got this one. The Amphibian, such a great knife. Also partial serrated. I love Microtech serrations, but this one I decided to get in the G10, and I love it. Love it. Love it. Haven't regretted it a moment, but there's part of me that kind of wishes I got it in aluminum. I do like aluminum. I like the feel. I like the sound and all of that. But that's window dressing. Don't be so shallow, Bob. Malcolm Holt, nice to have you here, Malcolm. Good to have you here. Bob and all you other rascals. We got them here. We got rascals. Northern Knives. What's the story with the blue stars next to some chat? Okay, so the star is, those are members through YouTube as opposed to through Patreon. It's just something YouTube does to show that people are members. Victor Blades, nice to have you here. Victor, also a gentleman junkie and just a gentleman. He says, hey, Bob, Jim, and Junksters, nice to be here. I have a confession. Been having trouble sleeping. Oh, what helps me is watching your 3-part traditional knife video. Oh, man, I'm glad. It's very soothing in a manly way, of course. I got to say, I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble sleeping. It's very rare for me. I come from a family of good sleepers and a family of victors. I obviously am not one of them, but when I can't sleep, or when I'm not asleep, within 5 minutes of getting in bed, like, I understand, because my wife is not a great sleeper, and a good friend of mine at work is also not a good sleeper, and I tend to think, oh, just close your eyes and relax, but when I can't sleep, then I realize, oh, that really sucks, and sometimes it's hard to turn your mind off. Other times it's other reasons, but sometimes it's just hard to turn your mind off. And if you want to turn your mind off, watch one of my videos, I guess is what Victor's saying. And I appreciate that, man. Thanks for letting me know. I do have that. That is a long series. I did a whole bunch of videos trying to catalog my whole collection. I stopped before I got to machetes and swords and tomahawks, but everything else, large fixed blades, all the different fancy and all the different cheap and all the different slip joints, they're worth watching, though my collection has expanded greatly since then. I'm trying to catch up with these collection selection videos, but then I realize I'm in trouble. Like, I will never get through the whole, I shouldn't say never. It'll be a long time. To all the Byron. Oh, Byron, this is breaking my heart. I almost brought out my Shining Mountain Bowie, my Inglorious Bastards Bowie. But anyway, he says, to all the Inglorious Dastards, here tonight. Please show that. All right. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to put this on the table so you can take a look at it. I will get it because, I was thinking about having that out tonight. So let me go get that.
Hey, knife makers. Tired of paying too much for your online store? LaunchCard gives you everything you need for just $27 a month. Sell as many blades as you want with our drag and drop store builder. No tech skills needed. You get all the good stuff. Secure checkout, back in stock alerts, and easy product reviews to show off your happy customers. Plus, your store looks great on phones and computers. Already using Shopify? Knife makers are switching to LaunchCard because it just works better. Try it free for 14 days at TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch. That's TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch.
Thank you, Jimmy Notes. Always got my back. I appreciate you, sir. Look at this thing, man. I should have just brought it out. Here is the Shining Mountain Bowie. I love this thing, and man, I realize I've had other knives on top of it in my drawer, and it's starting to mark up my leather sheath, which makes it look like I use it, which I don't. This has been used. Kep McNeshart, who hasn't been here in a while, but he took this camping with him, said it did an awesome job. I've used it to baton firewood, even with that rat tail tang, and it does beautifully, and it did not knock any spacers loose. And I say that because I've batoned with my Boone too, and that one did knock spacers loose. I had to super glue it back. Yes, I used super glue. You know what? It's just epoxy, right? And kept it good to go. All right, I gotta say, man, this blade is looking a little. It's not so polished. I need to polish it up. It's got a lot of. At one point, I oiled it and then regretted that because every time I put it in the sheath and pull it back out, it looks all mucked up like that. But a $10 super chat, Byron, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. That is very generous and greatly appreciated. So here's to you, sir, with the Shining Mountain Bowie. I'll be leaving this out on the table for a few minutes. Here's your swim by. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is some of my best work. Or I think that might be your masterpiece. What's the line, the last line of Inglourious Basterds? He's got the knife and he's just carved the swastika in the Nazi's forehead, in Christoph Waltz's forehead. What a great actor. That whole movie is so good. Anyway, I love Quentin Tarantino movies. For a while, I fell off with him and thought he was kind of a dork, but and then I was like, well, yeah, but he's a genius dork. Like, who's not? Or I shouldn't say who's not, but like, who cares what he's like? His movies are just awesome. Anyway, KR Knife Reviews. Good to have you here, KR. He says, hello, everyone. And I say to you, sir, hello, or presumably, sir. Douglas Wagner. Nice to have you here, Douglas. Hi, all, he says. Hello to you. I'm trying to see what it says on here. Can't quite read it, but it's good to have you here, man. Donald Fry. Nice to have you here, Donald. He is also a Gentleman Junkie. Stands to win that LT Wright knife, Frontier Valley tonight. Sweet little knife. I was about to call it cute. It's not a cute knife. It's a sweet knife. Donald Fry says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Happy Thursday night knives. Thank you, sir. Same to you. My ESK is normally whichever Bradford Guardian I grab on that particular day. How many do you have, Donald? And I ask, I'm curious. I'm Bradford curious. I've always kind of wanted one. I've never really pulled the trigger. And you've got a lot, it seems. So tell me what you like about Bradford knives, if you don't mind, because I might just have to buy one. Look at that. What a cool shape. I mean, this is a swashbuckler for sure. Love that thing. All right. I'm putting it back in the gorgeous leather sheath. Autumn Wind. Nice to have you here, Autumn Wind. Hello, Bob. Hello, all. Well, hello to you, sir. Sorry for the angle. Just have to put it over there. Steve-O Taylor. Nice to have you here, Steve-O. He says, spring in Australia. Good morning. Well, good morning, good evening, good morning to you, and happy spring. Indeed, we're just going into fall. I'm loving it. Fall's my favorite. You know what? Every season going into it, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite season. Though I rarely say that about winter. I say that about summer. I love really hot summer days. I love the spring. It's like, everything's blooming anew. Makes me feel optimistic. The fall, it's like nostalgic and crispy, and you get to put on your favorite, or I get to put on my favorite clothes. Winter is usually like, oh God, I hope it doesn't snow that much. I hate slush. Ed, how's it going, Ed? He says, what's up, sir? Or he says, what's up? And I say to you, what's up, sir? Hope you're doing well. Ken Reed, nice to have you here with us, Ken Reed. He also stands to win that beautiful knife. Hello, all. My ESK is still my half-face blades Crow Jr. I got to get behind the wheel of a half-faced blades. There are some that are really, really appealing to me. Maybe it's the Crow Jr., but something recently that I've been seeing a lot of, it's like a small-ish clip point. It kind of looks like you could EDC it. It's got that sort of fluted handle that he does. Looks so cool. When's the giveaway, says Jay Twig. Jay, the giveaway will be probably about a half hour from now, or maybe a little less, probably 20 minutes. Jay, you got a little time? Wait, Jay Twig. I know you're not in my list here. I was going to say, you got time, sir. You could be winning this if you become a member here, because tonight is an exclusive giveaway. Ordinarily, we do these all access giveaways, but tonight, third Thursday of the night, is reserved for members and gentlemen junkies. We'll say. It reminds me of that line from Goodfellas where it's like, I'm not even going to try. Anyway, Jeremy Nedro, nice to have you here, Jeremy. My ESK is a custom Bowie I made out of 1095 with a red, white, and blue resin handle. That sounds awesome. And a brass guard. It's the first Bowie I ever made, and it's special to me. Jeremy, you've been holding out, man. I didn't know you make Bowie knives. Send us pictures. I want to see. Please. Send it to TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. I'm pretty sure you have not sent me a picture, Jeremy, of the knives you've made. Some people have, but I'm pretty sure you have not. So please send me, share. Ed says, what's ESK? Every single day Keister? No, emotional support knife. So what's your emotional support knife? You know, the knife that you carry just because it makes you feel good. For me, it used to be fidgety. Lately, it's been larger kind of fighting knives and Bowie knives and that kind of thing. But whatever, this would make a great emotional support knife. A little fidgety Civivi. Plenty of Civivis have been my ESKs in the past. But right now, my ESK is going through a phase, man. Oh, this would make another good ESK because of the drop shuttiness. Let's see. OG Blade Review says, some days my ESK is the Morgan Cones neckbiter Sax. Oh my God. His work is so beautiful with the 12-inch A2 blade, but only fondle it at home because it needs a sheath. Yep. That's that. He did one. Did you see the one, Dave, that he showed pictures of the other day? Not the cool mid-century modern steak knives he just did, but it was like a big D-guard, like bruiser cleaver style fantasies. You could see like the Hulk carrying it. Crazy stuff. Strings, how you doing, sir? He says, what's up, brother? Missed last week, was in New Orleans for a funeral. I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm in tonight, just finished a gig. Hope all the junkies are good. We are good, Strings. We are good. I'm doing especially well because I got two knives here that I've traded you for. Two knives I always wanted, especially the Desperado. God, I love this thing. I should say gosh, because you say God and love, you better be look at that. And then here I got the Arbolito Bowie from Boker. Man, I love that one too. These are the two knives I traded for strings for. Does that make sense? Traded with strings for. Jesse, good to have you here, Jesse. Evening all, he says. Good evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Will be the amphibian is definitely better in aluminum. So is the Ramlock stitch. I do love the Ramlock stitch in aluminum. But yeah, you're saying I should get one of these in aluminum too. I probably should. Or I could get the aftermarket scales from that company that Dave got his from. I can't remember what they're called. Victor Blade says, I've been thinking about a fixed blade. Told you I had my eye on the Taipan. Yes. Well, someone has made me a trade offer on my TRM Thai Neutron for a Natchez Bowie. What do you think? Well, I love Three Rivers Manufacturing. And the Neutron is nice. It's the smaller version of the one that I have, the Atom. I think, it depends on, I'd go for it. Victor. Unless the TRM Thai Neutron is something you can't live without and something you carry all the time and that you're going to, you're going to miss, I'd go for it. I would go for it. The Natchez Bowie is sweet. It is so cool. And if you're lucky, it's one of the old ones with the leather sheath, but you're probably not, because I never see those with the leather sheaths, not even for a sale on eBay. But there are plenty of aftermarket people if you want to do that, or just go with the sheath that comes with, the plastic molded sheath that comes with Grivex. Those things, they're really great sheaths. I like the style of leather, so I'm going to have someone build me a leather one. But yeah, I would go for it. I mean, if you're looking for a fixed blade, the Natchez Bowie is sweet, I got to say. Cody Broadway, good to have you here, Cody. Evening, everyone. My ESK is the Spyderco Respect, another cool Bowie. I really like the look of that one. I love the big space above the guard where you could kind of hook your finger over if you need to. A great looking Bowie. OG says you can dress up that amphibian with some great Lex. That's what it is. Lex custom titanium scales for a bit over 100. Then you will have scales even better than aluminum. Indeed. Yeah, yours looks cool. Is that a Stitch that you did yours with, or was that a MSK, or what was it? James Hart says, a collection video. That sounds fun. Yeah, especially if you can't sleep. No, I could see like the cavalcade, the constant, and this is knife, and now I have this knife. It's like, okay, it's like reading your chemistry book in high school. Northern Knives says, I love Bark River stuff. One of the few production companies who have been diehard about the convex grind. Beautiful Bowie. Yeah, they really have been. Bowies. Geo Knife, good to have you here, Geo. Hi, everyone. Well, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Tyler Metz, hope you're doing well. I think that's his worst film. I like your cartoon there. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Besides maybe Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown is a great movie. I know people, it's not as flashy as some of them. I really like Jackie Brown. And maybe that's the older I get. My brother had to convince me that was a great movie. Made me watch it a couple of times, and I was like, yeah, it is. I think it's a great movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my current. I don't want to say favorite, because I don't know if it is, but I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've been into that one recently. Jacob Green, nice to have you here, Jacob. I choose my ESK by giving the knife a good squeeze. If it melts in the pocket, if it melts, it goes in the pocket. That's a good one. A good squeeze. Yeah, we all got our ways. String says my ESK is the Falkniven Modern Bowie. That's a cool one. All right. We've been talking about knives a long time. Oh, wait. James Hart says springtime in Wyoming means snow. Jeez. I'll contemplate that as we get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
Today in my front right pocket, I had the Raja 3 by Cold Steel. Never thought I would end up getting this. I did, because it was Amazon Prime days, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Feels great in the hand. This is the second week you've seen me talk about this. Thursdays lately have been a telework day, so I work from home right here, sitting at this desk. And I go elsewhere if I have to take a call, because I don't need to freak anyone out. So my carry is always a little bit different on Thursdays. So on Thursday night knives, maybe you've noticed my carry is a little bit different than usual. But anyway, today I had the Raja 3. This thing is super sharp. That is such an efficient cutter. What did I do? I opened up a new bag of dog food. I opened up a new box of cat food, cut off the flaps. There's a certain way I prepare it to put it in the pantry. Using this, it's just, stupid sharp, works really, really great. This is OS 10A. I bought this on a lark because, well, I mentioned that it was Prime Day, but also it's a knife that I thought was no longer in print. I thought they had discontinued that one. And then when I found it wasn't, I became a little bit obsessed with it, I guess. Like, I was like, oh, I got to get one. I kept thinking about it. And so I got it for a good price whilst it was on sale. I've been loving it. It is a bit of a pocket chewer. I think you can still see some of my jeans left in there. Yeah, still under that pocket clip, but it's a pair of jeans that's already, it's coming apart. So threads under the pocket clip, nothing new. Great texture on there. Next up, I had the compact. I love this knife, the Victorinox compact. It just really packs a lot of tools in a 2-layer Victorinox. I tend to use this one more than any other because of the little eyeglasses screwdriver. My glasses, I wear glasses pretty much all the time. Not here because I'm so close to the screen I don't need them, so I never wear them here. But the one temple on the right side gets loose and floppy, and that drives me nuts. So I'm always constantly tightening it down. That happens after a few years of having the same frames, which leads me to believe I need to get new glasses. So I'll probably do that at some point. But the compact is so great, and this is how I carry my Swiss Army knives. I have to dangle them in the pocket using one of these little dangler clips. Otherwise, it just flops around at the bottom of the pocket, goes horizontal or perpendicular to my leg, and that drives me absolutely nuts, and I won't carry them. So I ended up getting a number of those little clips. They're cheap. You can get like a 3-pack for like $8 on Amazon, and you get a lot more. I get a lot more use out of my Swiss Army knives that way. On my belt for almost the whole day until I had to go to my daughter's school was the mini Northern Hunter, or a small Northern Hunter from LT Wright Knives. Love this knife. I really, really dig this knife. LT Wright does it right. And they did a collaboration with Jack Wolf Knives for a bigger version of the Vampire, which I gotta check that out because it's kind of like having a tactical LT Wright. This is kind of like having a tactical LT Wright, in my opinion. I really like that leaf-shaped blade. It's to me reminiscent of a barong, but obviously it's also reminiscent of a Canadian belt knife. And this thing is just a great all-arounder. It's got a perfect 90-degree spine and throws sparks like crazy. I wanted today to, during my lunch hour, go outside and make a fire. I didn't end up doing that. I had other stuff I actually had to do. But this is what I was going to light it with. I was going to make some shavings. You can not only make great feather sticks with that blade, but with that really sharp 90-degree spine, you can make scrape fluffy little tufts of what do you call it, fat wood, and start a fire like instantly. It's a great knife for if I were going out and backpacking and camping and stuff. That's what I would be hiking around with. It's light, it's small, it's super capable. My ESK today was only one of those things, and that is super capable. I had on me today the Cortada by DeMarco, made by Fox Knives. It was distributed by a Russian knife company. I can't remember what they were called now. Perhaps just Russian Knives. But here it is. Such a beautiful, beautiful knife, sort of emulating the Gununting, but instead of a curved blade, it's got a straight edge blade just angled downward. So you get all the benefits of a straight edge for slashing. And yes, those benefits are many, but you also get the benefit of having a downward angled blade, just accelerating every cut you make. This one does not have, they do not have a sharpened top edge. And I'd say that that swedge is somewhat thick, though a skilled person could make an edge on that. I couldn't or wouldn't trust myself to. They only made 500 of these. This is $391. I got this in an auction at the Texas Custom Knife Show a few years back. Really cool. This jimping up here is painful to the thumb unless you have gloves on. It's like, it's not serrated, but it's close. It's pretty sharp, but great for trapping, I would imagine. So trapping a limb in the middle of a fight, in a half beat of a knife fight, if you were doing some sort of a duel and you were both skilled fighters and you weren't just slashing around at each other, you could use that to, if you had it in reverse grip, trap like this and then do whatever you're going to do, or trap like that and then push forward. But a great gripping surface is that jimping. Anyway, this was my ESK today. Obviously not a super practical knife unless you're called out to a duel, which I wasn't today, thank God. So that's what I had on me today. Tell me what you guys were carrying if you haven't already. Mine was the Cortada by Doug Markida and Fox Knives. And I had the LT Wright Knives Small Northern Hunter. Et voila. And I had the Victorinox Compact and the Cold Steel Raja 3. Really cool knife. Recommend it. Do you remember the Raja 1? How cool would that be if they brought that back? The Raja 1 basically was the large Raja, except in this dress with the shiny stuff. Steve, how you doing, sir? Stephen Roberts. What's up, Bob, Jim, and all? I felt naked traveling in Florida this week without any knife, let alone an ESK. Okay, I got the solution for you next time you have to do a trip down there. At least this time I didn't accidentally bring a knife through airport security. Yeah, no kidding. That sucked, man. Here, Steve, this is what you should do. Get one of these sheaths from Armis Knife and Tool. I'll put it under here. It's got... it's an ambidextrous drop-in pocket or waistband sheath. It's got the Discreet Carry Concepts clip in it. But this is a knife that is intended, or a sheath that you take when you travel. You travel without the knife. You find a grocery store. You get the cheapest paring knife you can find at the grocery store, and it fits right in the knife, right in the sheath. And then before you leave, you give the knife to someone who needs it, let's say, or you just ditch it, throw it down a sewer grate, and you go back home with this. But the idea is it's a travel sheath, and then at your destination, you find something that you're not going to mind leaving there when you go. I think this is especially valuable for foreign travel, though I don't. I don't officially recommend you carry a knife in another country. It's probably a terrible idea. I've done it every time I've gone to other countries, but I'm changing my ways because, man, I would hate to end up in some foreign clink just because I had to have a knife with me. But this is a great solution. Armis Knife and Tool, Steve. Check it out. Edgy American Blade Works. Good to have you here, Shane. Hey, guys, he says. Man, he just posted a beautiful Bowie, similar to the one we gave away, but more refined. Perfect. Man, that thing looks awesome with its full flat ground blade and everything. So nice. I think you said that was a commission, but Shane's you've come a long way, baby. Does anyone know what that is? No one's old enough to remember that, probably, except for Shane. You've come a long way, baby. But anyway, Shane used to hate clip point blades. Now he's making beautiful clip point blades. Jacob Green says, I went to Blade Show West with my girlfriend. She's a keeper. My ESK on the trip was a ProTech Rockeye. Nicely done. I like that. That was my first automatic knife, my first legit automatic knife, and that was my first Les George. I love his stuff. It went in the pocket as soon as I crossed into Utah. Very nice. Man, that sounds like a nice trip, Jacob. Split and Slices says, my ESK is chosen completely on the morning's decision based on mood and task of the day. Interesting, because like task almost never comes into it. For me, it's like, how insecure do I feel today? And yeah, pretty insecure today. I think I better have the cortada with me just in case. Victor Blade says, do we have to do anything for the giveaway? The gentleman's, I mean, yuck, that sounds pretentious. Hey, I am yams. I yams what I yams. No, Victor, your name goes immediately, is immediate. It's already in the hopper. It's already on the wheel. So you need nothing. You need to do nothing but become a gentleman junkie, and you have achieved that, sir. We should probably give that away sometime soon. I could just sit here and talk, obviously, for a long time. Pardon me. Raylene, nice to have you here. Raylene Sankey. She says, that rocking fall flannel, Bob. Love it. Newest carry, polymer spike. Very nice. Is that the Cold Steel Delta Dart? Is that the one that's got the triangular spike? And thank you. This is like one of my favorite shirts of all time. Matt Lamana says, your collection videos are the primary reason I suffer from DBS, DeMarco Bowie syndrome. Yes. My work is done here. No, it's just beginning. I've been down the rabbit hole on a consuming quest to learn more about and acquire them. I know. Actually, it's funny because when I think Terminator mentioned the Undertaker Bowie by Condor Knife and Tool, I was like, oh yeah, I was obsessing about that about a year ago. I need to get back on that obsession. I remember why I didn't buy it at the time, because I read reviews about the sheath. You need to stretch the sheath out, and I was like, I don't feel like it. So, but it's a great looking knife. I've heard nothing but great reviews about it, and so it takes a minute to break in the sheath. Big deal. Edgy American says, my ESK varies as different blades make me feel differently according to my mood and situation. Yes, that's kind of, it's an emotional decision for me too. Shane says, I'm becoming a bigger fan of clip points and Bowies as I make more of them, but I still don't care for the aesthetics of the Texas Bowie. So I think you're talking about this kind right here, this, where it widens out towards the thickest part, which is kind of above the break to the clip and the belly, and then it's got the curved clip. I know what you mean, and hey, there are a lot of Bowies to go around, and some of them, might be your style, and some of them not. But I like that you're in the clip point fold. OG Blade Review says, today's carry, ESK, was the Work Tough Gear Ranger Bowie with Carroll's custom clip scales. He makes such cool scales. I need to get on that. Auxiliary Manufacturing Carl Jr. Deadhead series, another one I need to get. Kershaw Launch 22. I like the look of that one. That's with the bayonet blade and the inlay on the green. Yeah, nice. Oh my God, all of these. Dauntless, Musashi, Tanto. Please, that is awesome. The Williams Ozoraku Zukuri operator, and the Next Torch TA70. Man, all of those are sweet. All of them are sweet, and only one folder. Excellent. And Northern Knives says, added the ProTech Godson in brass with a carbon inlay. To my carry today. It accompanied my 3-dog knife proto folder, which I can't wait for to see. That is tactile turn bolt pen and the Maritac titanium flashlight. How cool. Actually, you did show me the proto folder, I believe, during our Gentleman Junkie exclusive interview after the interview. So String says, how can you focus on work with so many badass blades in the room? That's how I can focus. Actually, I actually thought that I wasn't going to be any good at teleworking, but really it's nice. You can openly fidget. What's this person emailing me for? Like, oh, okay. Or perhaps you open up your Knife Junkie lighter. I don't know. Just stuff I can't do at work. Pull down a sword off the wall. Split and Slices says, carry today was my first TKL knives combatant, excellent, with gunmetal gray scales. Excellent choice. I love the combatant. $1.389 canoe, Very cool. And an off-grid all-day necker. Your canoe, is that the one? Is that the one with the carbon vanadium, the CV steel, and the Native American in the canoe etched into the blade? That's the one I have. It's awesome. Yep. Knife Junkie Zippo. I know a couple of you out there have this. $50. I ordered 6 of them, kept one of them for myself. Jim's got one, and several others. I know Michael Elliott. I'm not sure if he's here right now, but he has one as well. So I'm all out of them. I'm gonna order some more. Is there any interest? Does anyone else want one? Should I go and order some more? I think they're cool. I love Zippos, and I put the little jet flame insert in there for smoking cigars. I think they're pretty awesome. Northern Knives says, love seeing you still carrying a classic Swiss Army knife, so overlooked by modern knife communities sometimes. Infinitely useful. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, to me, they're my favorite multi-tools, but that's because I generally don't tend to need pliers. If I do, I've got a Leatherman in my backpack. I've got a Leatherman in the kitchen drawer. I've got them strategically. I used to have one in the car, but I broke that one. I have them strategically arrayed about me, but I don't tend to use them. Doyle, nice to have you here. Doyle Ammo. Or ammo. I'm going to go with Doyle Ammo. And if I'm wrong, please let me know. Got here late. What did I miss? Oh, man, you missed it. Oh, brother. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't miss much. I've just been babbling about lots of different knives. I did mention that tonight's giveaway is for Gentleman Junkies because it's the 3rd Thursday of the month. So we'll be giving this away. Oh, my gosh. We should do this in 3 minutes. Sean Clark says, I had the TKJ Ronin 007 on me today. Very nice. Sean, that's an excellent choice. That's the wrap by Michael Jarvis of Auxiliary Manufacturing. And I think it comes in the leather sheath, the Ronin edition. Steve says, dryer lint is also a great way to make a fire. Yes, sir. Ferro rod and some patience, or gasoline and torch. Yeah. Up to you. I actually... Here, I very frequently, if I have to get a fire going, like if I'm doing a fire because we're going to cook on the fire, or we're just going to enjoy, I do the whole ritual with the fat wood. But if I have a bunch of stuff from the backyard that I have to burn, just have to like make a utilitarian fire, yeah, I'll do that. I'll get a toilet paper roll and stuff it with lint. And it takes like one swipe. And Matt Lamana says, today's carry is TJ's Overland X. So I'm assuming it's a little bit larger. Cold Steel American Lawman. The very good knife company Lone Star. And for ESK, the Condor Plan A. Thanks, DBS. What is the Plan A? That's a great name for a knife, though. Plan A. String says, on the belt today, the Queen number 3L in Stag, left front pocket, a custom Chuck Hawes Anglo-Saxon Whittler. My God, Strings, you seem to have a sweet collection too. I think we have a gathering of eagles here. Spear point main blade with a titanium liner lock, brown bone handles from the Winchester factory. How cool. Anglo-Saxon Whittler. Jammin Parker says, Bob, if you haven't seen it already, check out the Kramer Customs Partisan Field Knife. I've been lusting after that thing for a long time. It's inspired by the Mac V SOG Bowie. Got a feeling you would like it. Jammin, I have his custom Voodoo I got years ago. That is a great knife. And right after I bought the Voodoo, he started messing around with the Mac V SOG and his Partisan. And that's, I think that's become huge, like largely his bread and butter knife. And man, I'm with you on that. Like that is an EDC-able Mac V SOG. And I know a lot of people like to EDC the SOG Seal Pup, but to me, I love his stuff. Eric Kramer's knives are just gorgeous. And the Voodoo is one of the first knives that I every day carried as a fixed blade because it's so thin. That's a nice knife. Cody Broadway says, I bought a Dollar Tree knife when I went to Portland and Seattle a few months back. and used the Armis sheath. How cool. So Cody actually did this. I have not done this yet. I have not traveled with this yet. Cheeto of the Corn, good to have you here, Cheeto. What's up, peeps? Carrying a Shaman and a Bastinelli Pica. That's cool. That's the little slender karambit. I mean, it's full size, but it's nice and slender. That's a cool knife. Angry Tom says, you've come a long way, baby. Was a cigarette ad, I believe. Yes, it was. It was for Virginia Slims. And it was like, you can smoke now, ladies. Come on. Like, don't you want to smoke? And Virginia Slims were these like extra long cigarettes that were super thin. Actually, when this watch came out, Virginia Slims were in vogue. Douglas Wagner says, on break at work, stopping in. Hey, man, it's nice to have you. I love that. I love knowing that that you're here during a break. I hope work is going well, and I hope the man ain't keeping you down. I hope you like what you do. And if you don't, I hope it pays well. Craig Vincent says, Cold Steel 3V 8010, Hamamoto, Swift 3, Spectre Hawkbill. That's the one instead of the Hamamoto that I'd be interested in getting. Spectre Hawkbill, the Carve, but I know that those are in the same. I'm doing this, and this reminds me of that 6-7 bullshit my kids keep doing. Drives me nuts. But they're in the same line of knives, the Spectre and the Hamamoto. The Carve, the Purple Haze Manganas Kaimano, the Civivi Sentinel Strike, great knife. The Kaimano, great knife, and the Bucklight Max 2. I like the Bucklight. I used to have one of those. I think my wife ended up kind of pulling that into her collection. Edgy American Blade says, yes, my OCD can't handle that wider clip point. Then I think that you're more of a Bagwell man, you know, with a long, slender, long tapering, long clip, sharp kind of Bowie guy. Victor Blade says, wow, your Facebook, your carry for today is killer. In my left pocket is my GEC 66. I love the 66. Little Cowboy. In my right pocket is my Ketuo Bratva. Bob, this pocket sword is impressive. Ketuo Bratva. Okay, hang on. Got to jot that down. Definitely in running for import of the year. Bratva Ketuo. All right. I know they make some cool stuff. Richard Briscoe, today I'm carrying a Bestech Swordfish Tuxedo Flipper. Awesome. That Swordfish was the very first knife by Bestech that I ever paid notice to. In Magna with a button lock. Oh, it was before their button lock days, that's for sure. It's pretty floppy. It's a nice blade. I like a floppy. I also like the hydraulic action of something like this. But yeah, there's something gratifying about both. Shane says, my carry today was the Spyderco Sage in Rex 21 and an edgy American Blades Fret in Magna Cut. That Fret is cool. That's your little one, right? Your little leaf-shaped one. Sean Clark wants one of those Zippos. All right, Sean, it's official. I'll order 5 more. I don't need 6 because I've already got mine. So I'll order 5 more. And Sean, all you got to do is email me at TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. I gave the wrong address out to someone recently, and there's some dude with my name out there got the money for it, and I felt like such an idiot. But just email me, Sean. Email me, say I want one of those. It'll be a good reminder for me tomorrow to get on the ball and order some. Fellow junkie mentioned a buck canoe. Love the buck canoe. The one that you're talking about with the etching on the blade is the case canoe, right? Yes, it is the case canoe, and it's the one in their CV lineup with the amber jigged bone. And I really like that knife. As a matter of fact, I have a short story outlined about that. It revolves around that knife. It's not really about that knife, but the knife is a central character, and I just haven't written it yet. So I got to do that one of these days. Angry Tom says my Zippo will be here on Sunday. That's right. Angry Tom's one of the Zippo buyers. Homie Omi, nice to have you here. What's ESK? Homie Omi, ESK is emotional support knife. So it's that knife that you're carrying not because you use it, but necessarily you're not carrying it because you're going to use it. You're carrying it because it gives you emotional support. Could be something like this. Could be something like this. Could be something like this because it's fidgety, whatever. For me, it started as a fidget factor thing, and it's evolved into all sorts of different things. Like many have said here tonight, the emotional support knife is chosen by mood. And lately, I've been in the mood to carry large, cool, big knives. Unlike other times where I've been interested in carrying very fidgety knives. Adrian Fighter would also like a Zippo. Adrian, yes. And I think I have the last one was earmarked for you, I think, because you mentioned that, but we haven't worked out the method. That's right? I forget. I get a lot of emails, and but I'm pretty sure, Adrian, you and I have been in contact. So yes, the Zippos they're pretty cool. I gotta say. I gotta also say they did a really here. I'll put this under here. Beautiful job. I mean, it's their business, but they did a beautiful job with my logo, with all those tiny little lines behind the heart. I mean, they just nailed it, and it seems very robust. I've had this in the pocket with other things, and it hasn't gotten a scratch yet. I love Zippo. Zippo and Case, they're kind of the same company, right? They do like some of the same. I think they're owned maybe by the same umbrella company. Todd Carr, good to have you here, Todd. Evening, everyone. ESK folder, Cold Steel 8010 S35VN. Fixed blade, the SRK in 3V. Man, two classics. Speaking of the 8010, I've been also wanting to get the Tonto, the 8010 Tonto. I just think it just looks beautiful to me. And oftentimes that's all I go on. Northern Knife says, can we carry the Knife Junkie Zippo in my cigar store? Hell, yes, absolutely. It's next door to the knife shop. Lots of cross promotion. Good Lord, that would be so cool. How cool would that be? Let's talk, Mike. We have other stuff to talk about too. Thank you. Jim is keeping me honest because I just can't stop running off at the mouth. We do have to give this knife away one last time. This is an AEBL version of the Frontier Valley by LT Wright Knives, sent to me by LT to give to one of you great gentleman junkies out of the kindness of his heart. This is a beautiful, by the way, beautiful micarta handle. Feels so good in hand. This thing is just so awesome. I'm looking forward to getting it off my desk because I love my own LT Wright knife so much that we don't want this to get subsumed into my collection. Okay, enough talk. What movie is that from? Enough talk. And then a knife is thrown into a bad guy. Okay, Adrian Fighter 35, Ben Belkin. Wait. We have 5-door also. 5-door. I'm not sure why he's not on this list, but he's on my list. But 5-door is also on this list. Adrian Fighter 35, Ben Belkin, Byron Kennedy, Colin Maison-Pierre, Craig Vincent, Dion Page, Dirk Pinkerton, Donald Fry, Doug Bowl, Edwin Callow, Gary Balmain, Gavin Kalitis, Jay McConnell, Jacob Vargas, Jamin Parker, Jason Small, Jeff Wright, Jesse Tellis, Jock Snife, John Marchell, JVF, Larry Elizondo, Martin Gamboa, Matthew LaManna, Michael Elliott, Master Sergeant Poppy, Never Enough Knives 007, Ronald Reimer, Ryan Lynch, Scott Nelson, Sean Welford, Sean Harmon, Stephen Michael Robert, Thomas Butler, V2, thanks, Dad, Victor Salameni, Northern Knives, Will B, Joe, Ken Reed, Sean Clark, and there was someone else. Angry Tom, who's added, and then I think that's right. And then someone else joined just tonight, and I know that Jim put that person on there. All right. Let us see. Jim, are we ready? This Jennifer Reed. Thank you, Jim. Jennifer Reed, and thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate it greatly. We got alfalfa going on. All right, so let's do this. Let's pull up the wheel. Let's spin that wheel. Let's decide. Let's see. Let's let fate decide who gets this here knife. And while it's coming up, I'm going to take a little sip. And if it lands on one of those empty spaces, it stays here. I mean, that's just luck of the draw. Sorry, guys. Just kidding. All right. Let's do this. In 3, 2, we've scrambled them, and 1. Look at that. Where's it going to stop? It's always a tease. Oh, look at it. It's mine. Oh, just kidding. Dion Page. Oh, my gosh. I think, Dion, you're the one who said, come to me, little knife, aren't you? That's a little weird. That's a little weird. We might be dealing with a whisperer here. So, Dion, this is your knife, sir. This is now yours. I'm just holding it in my hand. But I'm very happy that this is going to you, as I would be to any Gentleman Junkie, but here it is. And the fact that you called it to you is weird. So I'm not going to mess around with that. I will put this in the box. The box has a really cool picture, too, of a recent gathering that they had in Ohio. I would really like to go and meet him in person, LT Wright. What a cool guy. Really great knives. So congratulations, sir. And thank you, one and all, to Gentleman Junkies and members here on YouTube. I really, really appreciate it, as does Jim. We lunch once a week, and you guys are often a subject of conversation. So thank you very much. String says, I'm falling back in love with traditional pocket knives as of late. You know, I think they're also kind of an autumnal thing. You know, you pull out your amber jigged bone. It's kind of goes with the leaves and everything. I mentioned fall is a nostalgic time of year. Those are nostalgic type knives. So I'm with you, man. I'm here for you on this journey. Isn't everyone on a journey? Matt Lamana says, Condor Plan A is, wait for it, a Bowie. Nice. Badass 14.5-inch Bowie designed by Julio Diaz. Whoa. 14.5, that's not the blade, right? That can't be the blade. If it is, I can't believe I don't own it. Terminator Joe says, my left pocket Espada XL, all black. Right pocket Espada XL, gray and black. Back pocket, the 5 Mac. Oh, I could see you. You keep the small one in your back pocket. Jeez. Love that. I will get a Zippo. Just let me know when I need to pay. All right. So I got to write this down now. John Clark. Shane. And Fighter. Adrian. Okay. We'll make sure that we get those. I will have them made. And they did not take long to come to me last time. I wonder if I should I'll probably just start an account with them and then I can just say 5 more, send me 5 more and do it that way. So I don't have to like reinvent the wheel every time. Jerry C says, rest in peace, guitar god Ace Frehley. I didn't know Ace Frehley died. Oh, maybe that's why I saw a random video pop up in my feed today. A short, it was an interview that he did about the life of a rock star. That's interesting. I'm sorry to hear that. I was never a big Kiss fan, but my brother was when we were little. And so I kind of thought they were cool. I just didn't. Edgy American, I thought I was a gentleman junkie. You are a gentleman and you are a junkie. Shane, I don't think so, man. Well, let's talk offline. If you think I don't ever remember reading your name off. Okay, we'll talk about it offline. Homie Omi says, I made a fire with my Reef F6 recently, trying to justify my collection to these, but ESK is my Bark River Highwayman 3. That is a cool knife. That is a super cool knife. I love that. I would like to get that. I would like to get all of the Bark River knives, Bowies, but that's me just being a greedy materialist. Enough talk. Conan the Destroyer. Matt, boom. Thank you, man. Thanks. We are like-minded individuals here at Thursday Night Knives. Enough talk. I got, man, Conan the Destroyer. I mean, I'll still watch it every time, but it is orders of magnitude cheesier than the original than Conan the Barbarian, which I don't think was cheesy at all. John Milius, Oliver Stone wrote the script. It's a great movie. But man, Conan the Destroyer. Anyway, Dion Page says, "Hot damn, Fennel you." No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. You are welcome, sir. You came to Dion Little Knife. Yes, you did. He did. It did. Jerry C says, "Bob, do you still have any of the knives you mentioned you were selling last week? If so, are they on your website somewhere?" I got them right here. I sold 3 of them, I think. "Bob, I'll take a zippy as well," says Craig Vincent. I'm going to write that down. Craig Vincenzo. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And so yeah, I have these. I have these left. I have the Sen cut. This is the Awasi. This is pretty sweet. I mean, I think they're all pretty sweet, actually. I got the Squiggy. This one is pretty sweet, big beefy one. I got the Scarnax. Funny name, if nothing else. Very nice hollow ground. Really, like, these are all, well, this and this are hollow ground. This is full flat ground. They're all just stupidly sharp. And then I have the Bronte, which is always one that I've always loved. This one, I just don't carry it. And then I have 3 great Civivis also. I have the Guile. This is a new one that was designed by a gentleman whose name eludes me, but he's an actor. I think he's a superhero in some movie. I have the Brazen Tonto, really excellent, smooth, flipping button lock, and then the 6 Gill by Gavco, Michael Gavick and Gavco. 6 Gill named after the odd 6 Gill shark. This one is really sweet. They do the ambidextrous bar lock right, and this one is fidgety and flippy as hell, or as it gets, I guess I should say. The Civivis, $30. The Sen cuts, $25. You don't worry about shipping. I worry about shipping. It's not much of a worry. But yeah, so $30 to your door for the Civivis, $25 to your door for the Sen cuts. And yeah, I have these for sale. I have others, but anyway, just thought I'd trim the fat, or lighten the herd. What do they say? Cull the herd, thin the herd. Thought I'd thin the herd a little bit, make me feel better about saving up money. The proceeds of these are going to my Rainmaker fund, for the Bobby Rains Rainmaker. So, I just figured it's the responsible thing to do, and I get to pass along a good deal to you lovely people. Each, yes, send. Thank you, Jim. $25 each, not $25 for all the Sen cuts and $30 for all the Civivis. Each one is $30, or each one is $25. Richard Briscoe says, "Sen cut." I couldn't agree with you more, sir. Oh, how do I pay? Which Sen cut? Because there are 3 of them. And you pay. You either send me money directly to my PayPal by sending it to TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com, or you can email me there and talk to me about it. And just, hey, I want to get this particular Sen cut. It's not $25 for all the Sen cuts though, Richard. Oh, the one on top, the Awasi. Yeah, this one's pretty sweet. Okay, Richard, I'm going to write your name next to the Awasi on my little list here. Richard Briscoe. And you can either just PayPal me directly, or if you want to email me and do it that way, I will just email you back and say, send it to TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. Okay, Richard Briscoe. This is yours, sir. I will get the box and the pouch and the stickers and all the goodies that came with it and box this up for you. And I can get this in the mail tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow, depending on when the funds come in. So I will set this one aside. Thank you. Thank you very much, Richard. Pleasure doing business with you, sir. Split and Slices says, yeah, I guess my ESK for Friday will be a K-bar. Yes, back in the New York groove. Ah, yes, R.I.P. Spaceman Fraley. So a K-bar because K-bars are made in New York, and Back in the New York groove was a huge Kiss song. Probably the only, not the only Kiss song that I know, but probably, well, it doesn't matter. Sorry to hear that he died. Matt Lamana says, sorry, Plan A has a 9-inch blade, 14.5 overall. Still sweet. I love a 9-inch Bowie knife. P.S. Kiss scared the crap out of me as a kid in the 70s. I came to appreciate them later. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Ace. Yeah, I used to think, what's his name, was so cool with the tongue and the blood. I shouldn't say what's his name. I know his name. Just for some reason, I'm on the spot and I can't think of it. Gene Simmons. I used to think Gene Simmons so cool, and he's got the thanks, Jim. And he's got the battle axe bass. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. The battle axe bass. I still think it's pretty up there for one of the coolest things ever. He's an interesting guy. He's a very smart dude. Gene Simmons went to Yale, and I think he went to Yale. And I know he's a womanizer, or was, and but I mean, he's a rock star. And he had some other interesting facts about him, and now I don't remember what they are. But yeah, Gene Simmons, I always thought he was cool. Man, where's that blood come from? He'd bite on the little blood thing and stick. He's got a giant tongue. Anyway, Craig Vincent says, Bob, we knife people really are a strange lot. Yeah, even as I grabbed a Civivi from you last week. That's true. Craig got the Sentinel strike. I'm bringing 50 knives to my sister's tag sale this Saturday. Somehow I feel this is typical behavior for us. How funny is that? 50 knives. Hope you're not getting rid of any cold steels, Craig. If you are, let me know what they are. Maybe I head you off at the pass if it's one I need. And I say need. Because it would actually make more sense to receive all the cold steels and just give back the ones I don't want, which would be more efficient. Dragoon, nice to have you, Dragoon LSK. Good evening, minions. Good evening to you, Dragoon. Hope you're doing well. I mean family, wrong door. Good to have you here, man. Yes. We are an interesting lot, It just makes you wonder, like, I have a glancing knowledge of other collector realms. I watch videos. I kind of, aspire to have, I mean, I have a collection of watches, but, I aspire to, someday have some, I mean, there's a one watch that I'm all hung up on now. And it'll go, I'm hung up on it like I'm hung up on a Ferrari. It's not something I plan on getting or could get, without getting divorced. But it's just something that I see, and it's just so beautiful. And to me, it's the Vacheron Constantine 222 in stainless steel. I just think it's such a beautiful watch. But anyway, the whole point is, like, watch people are weird too. I know Jim is a collector of various things, and Jim has a collection of ice picks. How cool is that? And I love Jim dearly, but I wouldn't call him immune to the weirdness that comes with collecting interesting things. And I think ice picks is a really interesting collection. My brother is a collector, and he's got some serious collections that he's into militaria, if you will. He loves historical military stuff, and he's got some incredible stuff. Gods of thunder and rock and roll, says Strings. Yes. No cold steels, but I'd give you a cold steel any day of the week, sir. No, you don't need to give me a cold steel. I was just thinking if you had some you were getting rid of. I might say, well, it's not so fast. Let's see what we can work out. Dragoon says, just got in from 8 hours digging up a leak. I have a newfound admiration of Crewware and Bradford Guardians. Okay, Dragoon, is this your job? Were you on the job digging up a leak, or is this your house and you found that your line going out to the street was compromised or something? And did you gain the new appreciation for those steels from using them in this situation, or were those two different thoughts? Just curious. Kodiak Edge Bladesmithing. Good to have you here, Kodiak Edge. I'm going to have to check you out if you're on Instagram, Kodiak Edge. I hope you're doing well. He says, evening, folks. Bladesmithing. Okay. Doug Bowl. How you doing, Doug? Also a gentleman junkie and just a gentleman and a scholar and a great guy. He says, hi, Bob. Just got home after taking care of out-of-town business. I got your tomahawk boxed up. Send it out tomorrow. Doug, you spoil me, man. Thank you so much. Look, this is just one of the cool things Doug has sent me. I love this EK 44 dagger by K-Bar. This is a modern build of a classic World War II EK commando knife. And Doug just sent it to me because the handle was too disagreeable to him. And man, he's a generous guy. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm glad you got back safely from your out-of-town business, which sounds slightly gangster, which I admire. Angry Tom says, I have a lot of rock and roll memorabilia. That's cool. That'd be cool to have a room. I always thought it'd be, even though I don't play 6-string guitar, I mean, I can noodle around. I always thought it'd be cool to have a guitar and bass room just with a bunch of guitars and basses that I think are cool. Like, I'd love to have a Gibson Explorer. I'd love to have a Gretsch White Falcon. And like I said, I don't play guitar. And there are others. I'd love to have a Gibson SG, not an SG, but a Les Paul. It's a cool. I'd love to have a Fender Mustang. And then one of those long scale guitars. What are those called? Electro something. Can't remember what they're called, but they sound so cool. For my 3 notes, 3 chords that I could play, it would really make sense to do. But I think it'd be cool to have a guitar room and have it like a museum. Todd Carr says, loved Gene Simmons' stage presence, but preferred Paul Stanley's vocals. Paul Stanley, I always thought he was pretty cool. He always seemed like a cool guy. Edgy American Blade says, Mrs. DeMarco is way prettier than a Ferrari. Absolutely. And probably lower maintenance. Yes, indeed. Yes, she is the apple of my eye. And man, she's just so cool. I hit the lottery with her, man. Mad Yoko, nice to have you here, Mad. Howdy, y'all. Well, howdy to you. Yako? Yako. I'm gonna say Yako, not Yoko. I think I'm pretty sure I'm right there. Yes, Instagram. Thanks. Absolutely. I will. As soon as we're done here, I'll make sure to look you up. I mean, you know, who doesn't love doom scrolling on Instagram? Knives. And then I get, you know, you got to be careful because, man, it's like that's where I go to get away from politics, and they just bombard me there too. Dragoon says, commercial plumber for multifamily properties in Atlanta, performance-wise, it was a blessing. Roots invade everything, and red clay is everywhere. Oh yeah, Atlanta. So I'm much further north in Virginia, but red clay is a big deal here too. That's cool. That's cool that you were in there cutting roots with your knives. Kodiak Edge says, I have an original EK with a skull crusher, but sold it. Wish I didn't. Oh God, yes. We have a support group here. I know that Dave, if he's still with us tonight of OG Blade Reviews, has some doozies that he now regrets selling back in the day. Tyler Metz says, I collect knives because guitars are too expensive. Yeah. That's another thing my brother has a collection of. I think he may have sold a few guitars, but yeah, he's got some cool stuff. But yeah, Plant Daddy, what are you doing, Plant Daddy? Good to have you here, first of all. And thank you so much for this super chat. Just because, don't spend it all in one place. Hey, I know you're making but that is generous, and I very much appreciate it. Now, what shall I salute you with on this fine evening? All right, I'm going to do it with the, wait, I'll do it with this. This, sir, is for you. This is the Work Tough Gear V44X Bowie. I love this thing. Uh-oh, I hear my dog outside the room. Hope he doesn't have to go out. This thing is ultra cool. Designed, let's see, V44X Bowie, but designed by Reese of Well Regulated. I was about to say well calculated, well regulated. He's another super cool guy with an incredible collection of historical stuff. He has a vast collection of the Raider Bowie style knives. This one has gotten a good amount of use. I need to clean it up. There's some sap on there and stuff that's a pain in the butt to get off, but it'll come off. This is with that K329 steel, which has proven to be really awesome. I know people love it, but I didn't know what to expect, especially with the, I don't do a whole lot of use with this, just batoning wood and that kind of thing. And it does great at that. Super sharp spine. You can see I've thrown a lot of sparks with this. And then right here where your thumb lands, they knock it off. So it's not going to harsh your thumb. Anyway, Plant Daddy, this is for you, sir. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that super chat. Very, very nice. I will do a swim by for you so you can see this big, beautiful, menacing Bowie as it swims by. Look at that. Cool handle, too. Just a great handle, an awesome design. I can't wait for the pocket version of this, the small version of this to come out. It's such a great knife. Work Tough Gear does awesome stuff. String says, I have enough guitars for both of us. All right, Strings, if you ever get tired of that Explorer, send it my way. You know what I'd love to have? A Hamer. Hamer guitars are cool. And I know they look like Gibsons. But man, they used to make some really sweet basses. The 12-string and the 8-string bass that they made originally for Pete. What's his name? What was his name? Oh, something Peterson. I don't remember his first name, but Tom Peterson of Cheap Trick, the bass player. That's who they made the first 12-string for, and it just sounds like an orchestra. It's so cool. Kodiak Edge says, I play a custom Epiphone Studio Washburn. Whoa, what? Epiphone and Washburn? I thought those were two different companies. That's cool. We got a bunch of musicians here too. Dragoon, and I'm not calling myself that. I do pretty well, but it's not like I'm out playing with people or playing that often anymore. Dragoon says, now that looks like it would chop through some roots. Yeah, exactly. Get in there. You just might have the problem of getting it in the right spot, but yeah, it could. Hero Sticks, nice to have you here, Hero. As always, evening program on Kukris this week. Even program on Kukris this week. Interesting news about Rosecraft. Yes, exactly. Foregoing their modern folders. Agreed. It's a great move. I do too. Not a big fan of their modern folders. Well made. I just was never interested in the designs. About to buy their Little Riverbend traditional slip joint. They are great. I have a couple of, I have two, literally a couple of Rosecraft knives. I gave one to a guy that works for me, and then I kept two of them. I know them to be great, and then just watching the year-long video or year-long series of Scab from Choir Boys using one of the knives. I don't remember which one. They are just awesome. Bob, Doug says, Bob, years ago, had to go to FAA training center to work the airport. First experience with red dirt. What's red dirt? You mean the red clay? FAA training center to work the airport. Let me know what that means. What do you mean by red dirt? Are you talking about the red clay? Mad Yako says, what's your Instagram handle? It's knife_junkie_podcast. It used to be The Knife Junkie, and then they booted me off. after years, after 10 years or something of being inactive and sending memes to my daughter and watching and commenting on you guys, they kicked me off and never explained and never responded to my appeal. So I eventually just made a new one, and they're like, "Hey, you're the guy we just kicked off," and then I appealed that, and then they said, "Oh, okay, you're fine." I don't know, but I'm glad I don't make my living on Instagram. That would have been nerve-wracking, and it would have been terrible. Plant Daddy says that thing is crazy cool. My collection has started to become mini and micro knives, but I always love an XL. I have some micro knives that I really like, and I rarely carry, but I love. What's the most recent one I got? Um, hmm, mm, 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 hmm. The Pinkerton. It's not the Shard. It's like a little Kiradashi. It's like very small. And then I got a prototype of that with a flipper on it, which I like better because it's easier to open. Northern Knives says, I must be doing something wrong. 3 failed super chats so far. I'll make it up to you next week. Mike, you've done so much for this channel in donating knives, like nice, expensive knives that we give away. No need. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Dragoon says, so many knives, so many leaks for now. Only so many leaks for now. Yeah. Oh, Les Paul Epiphone. Sorry, he says. Yeah. Oh, sweet. I love Epiphones. That's the standing in line to give a little. Doug, what are you doing, man? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Wow. All right. I guess I will salute you tonight with this, with my Hogtooth Knives Fighting Bowie, which was inspired by the not the Loveless, the Bagwell style of Bowie, made by the great Matt Chase. He is such an awesome knife maker and an awesome guy. Former Marine Scout sniper who just so coincidentally served with another friend of mine on the same boat years and years ago. So kind of a cool coincidence there. And he does great kind of his everyday carry style of knife. They are awesome. And then he does these beautiful forged knives. He's got some incredible daggers right now. He's always got some cool Bowies. And he is a not a master smith, a journeyman smith in the Bladesmith Society. So I salute you with this, Doug. You're an awesome guy, and I really appreciate you. This Hogtooth knife. Also here, Luke 8:17. That which is hidden will be revealed, basically. So can't fight the truth. Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate you, sir. And there you go. And you can see that hamon as it swims by. And that Australian ringed Gidgee wood. Thank you so much. Oh, and check out the sheath. The sheath is also super awesome. Craig Vincent says, the worst medical condition for knife folks is insomnia. Why do you ask? Because Ambien is responsible for 70% of my knife purchases. Then again, insomnia may be the best condition for knife folk. That's funny, man. That Ambien, man, I've heard some people react funny to it. Like they'll do stuff like buy knives and forget all about them until they show up. How awesome. Mad Yako says, I love my Rosecraft farmhand. Yeah, I love my kayak. It's a cool knife. Oklahoma clay. Oh, geez. Okay, so the further south you go, I think the worse it gets. I think up here in Virginia, we just kind of flirt with it. You get down to Atlanta or Oklahoma, and you're dealing with some serious clay. Terminator Joe says, haven't played a guitar in a while. Still got 4 Dean. Oh, Deans are cool too. Dave Mustaine signatures and a Jeff Loomis signature 7-string from Schecter. Whoa, Schecter rocks. I always loved the Dean headstock with it looks like a flying V, basically. Very cool. Craig Vincent says, Bob, do you have any Cold Steel Micro Recon 1s? I have one. It's not up here on the table with me. I have one, and it was my keychain knife for years and years and years. And then I just took it off. I don't have any knives on my keychain right now. String said, my #1 stage guitar is a custom Telecaster made by Sherco Guitars in Pueblo, Colorado. Killer 50s style Tele. So my brother is a Telecaster lover, He loves Telecasters and he loves Strats. But he's got a Tele Custom, I think it's called, and he's done a bunch of work on it. But it's got the pick guard that comes up into that top, not horn, but the top hump. Most Telecasters, it stays down below the strings. This one comes all the way up, and I think it avoids going into the horn. It's cool looking, and it sounds beautiful. I love the sound of a Telecaster. Dragoon says, let any man who have no sword sell his clock and buy one. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Yes. Yes. And definitely don't pound it into a plowshare. As soon as you do that, the guys who kept their swords are going to ride up on you. And I don't mean to like that's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, you might pound it into a plowshare, but don't pound them all into plowshares. Make sure you got an adequate amount to defend the farm. Otherwise, as we see in other parts of the world, people will come and take your farm, and it will be illegal. What was that? Cloak something? And anyway, cloak. Any man? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say cloak. I know they didn't have clocks then. This must be a newer quote. All right, cool. I just listened to the Bible in a year. It took me about 3 years or 2.5 years because I didn't listen to it every single day. But I've always wanted to read the Bible, never did. And at one point, I was like, I'm going to read the Bible, and my mom and dad were like, maybe you should listen to this podcast. We think you might get through it if you do it this way. And they were right, and it's awesome. Very cool. Even if you're not a religious person, it's an interesting, it's an amazing thing to know. And not that I know it, but I've heard it all read to me now. And yeah, I appreciate it. String says, love my 40th anniversary American Strat as well. How cool. I always loved the 80s Strats with the big headstocks and the tremolo. Doug Bowl says, good job, Bob. Thank you, man. And I appreciate you, Doug. Everything you do for the channel. A lot of you guys are very generous, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think we're just about to pull into the station here, but Dion Page says, do you have my address, King Junkie, or do I need to, or should I, should I Gmail it to you? I can't wait to get my first LT Wright blade. I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it saved in just send it to me anyway, just to be sure. I'm like 1,500% sure I have it still in what's it called? Shipping Pirate or Pirate Shipper or whatever. Pirate Post. I can't remember what it's called, but it's this great service that I use that Jim hipped me to. That took me about 3 years to actually use, and it's awesome. But I think your address is saved there, but you may as well just email it to me. Kodiak Edge says, I made a custom Fender Strat from scratch. Geez. Has G-Man in front like SRV. I have the last run of Custom Shop 65 single coil pickups on it. Wow. And the lady who retired from Fender in 2010, I believe from a lady who, wow. That sounds sweet. I'd love to see that. Maybe you have a picture of that up on your Instagram. Ray Herman, nice to have you here, Ray. I'm getting a Cold Steel Raja 3. You did it. Nice. You're going to love it, man. It feels great in hand. It's easy in pocket. It'll cut it'll cut like you wouldn't believe. And 4 inches of reach. It's a 3.5-inch blade, but when you factor this in, it's awesome. You will be glad you did. All right, guys. Split and Slices says, thanks, Bob. Jim and Junkies, have a great weekend all. Thank you, Byron. Have a wonderful weekend. Raja 3 is a sweet little knife, says Mad Yako. Eric Flat pulled the trigger on a Raja 2 last night. Should arrive within a week. Had to have it. Nicely done, Eric, and thanks for joining us tonight. I do appreciate it. Good to see you. Strings, another great Thursday night. Knives, thanks, brother. Have a great weekend. You too, Strings. Hope you have great gigs. GN Paisan, good night, Paisan. Good night, all, says Victor Blades. Good night, Paisan. Have a wonderful one, and don't let the insomnia get you down. And if it does, I got plenty of collection videos. Adrian Fighter 35, have a great evening. Hope you and your significant other are doing great. Thanks for another great show, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Good night, guys. Good night, junkies. Have a great weekend, everyone. You too, Adrian. Have a wonderful weekend. Doug Bowles, stay safe, Bob. Thank you. You too, Doug. And thanks for everything. Mad Yako, I'll have to get a big propane forge to make a sword like that Bowie. Yes, no doubt. That's my retirement plan. Start forging knives. Todd Carr says, have a great night, everyone, and keep making sharp things fun and enjoyable. Thank you, Todd. Right back at you. Hero Stick says, see y'all next week. Hero, can't wait to see you next week. Night all, says Craig Vincent. Good night to you, sir. Good, sir. I have you written down here as wanting a Zippo. Plant Daddy, peace out, y'all. Thank you, Plant Daddy, for your generosity, sir. Kodiak Edge, night all. I will be checking you out on Instagram, Kodiak. Okay, for Jim, working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.